Occupying nearly a fourth of the entire landmass of Australia is the state of Queensland, a land as diverse as it is large. In this adventure, I discover a place made up of buzzing city life, green spaces, colonial and ancestral heritage, countless wildlife, eons of prehistory, and lots of sunshine. Located on the northeastern side of Australia, Queensland lies in the continent's most tropical region. I was here to visit some friends at the famous Gold Coast, but I thought I'd begin by exploring its capital, Brisbane. I was in town just in time for the city's biggest festival.
It's a nice sunny afternoon here in Brisbane. It's the end of winter and everyone is celebrating.
Held annually every September, the festival welcomes spring by highlighting the city's art, music, and cultural heritage. Everything they are proud of, including their military assets.
And guess what? The Royal Air Force has a surprise welcome for me.
It's amazing to witness an air show right in the middle of the city, just beside the Brisbane River.
There's the Globemaster.
There was also the Australian Army's Eurocopter Tiger, demonstrating its agility as it hovered over the urban skyline. As the evening drew on, we all witnessed a magnificent fireworks display, strategically placed at different points of the city, seeming to come out from behind the buildings. I found Brisbane to be pleasant and walkable, with perfect weather almost all year round. Though an increasingly modern city, it also has a laid-back, easygoing charm. And despite modernization, many historic sites still stand alongside new skyscrapers. Commemorating those who served their country in moments of conflict and even peace is the Anzac Square, Queensland's State War Memorial. The entire square is filled with symbolisms seeking to remember important events. The statue of the Scout on horseback commemorates the South African War, where 89 Queenslanders gave up their lives. The square's centerpiece is the Shrine of Remembrance, with an eternal flame burning for those who fought in World War I and II. Another kind of memorial stands in the middle of the city's commercial heart. The 100-year-old Brisbane Arcade still stands on Queen Street, as elegant as it first opened in 1923. Over the decades, the heritage-listed shopping arcade has housed award-winning local artisans and retailers. It has stood to represent Brisbane's creative and enterprising community. Another historic area in the middle of the city is Queensland's oldest heritage garden. First established in 1828 as a food garden for the new colony, it has continued to be a tranquil oasis for Brisbaneites until today. The park spans 18 hectares, where you can find plenty of native and exotic vegetation.
One thing nice about Brisbane is there's a lot of green spots within the city. And you can walk around and enjoy yourself, look at the birds, and be surrounded by lizards. I think I'm the one that's scared. They're not scared of me. They're like dinosaurs. Claws are big and sharp. I'm not sure if they're friendly.
This makes it the ideal home to a lot of endemic animal and bird life.
It's nice to be 5 minutes away from the city center and be able to find all these trees, grass, birds flying, and think about your life.
Long before the arrival of European settlers, Brisbane was inhabited by Aboriginal Australians for thousands of years. The river has always been the focal point of each settlement over the course of history. Flowing some 345 kilometers, Brisbane River is the longest in the region. I hopped onto one of the best ways to get around, the numerous city cats plying the river, offering quick and connected routes around the city. It's nice to take in the view, even without a particular stop in mind. You can also get a closer view of Brisbane's 17 bridges built to alleviate road congestion. One of them, the Story Bridge, is an iconic symbol of Queensland. Constructed in 1935, it is known as the largest steel bridge designed and fabricated in Australia by Australians. Today, the shipping warehouse beside it have been turned into a brewery and restaurants, the perfect spot for a sundowner by the river. Up next, I go back in time to discover Queensland's eventful prehistory before I meet its present-day inhabitants and delve into its rich Aboriginal culture at the Corymbin Wildlife Sanctuary. The state of Queensland may be a relatively new state, founded only in 1859. But its history goes way back at least 250 million years back. This I found out while visiting the Queensland Museum at the heart of Brisbane. Carefully put together by scientists and paleontologists, the museum paints not just a comprehensive history of Queensland, but also the bigger story of life on Earth. Dinosaurs once roamed the land, and ancient creatures of the deep once dominated this part of the world. Most dinosaur fossils in Queensland are from the Cretaceous period. What is now Australia was then part of a southern supercontinent called Gondwana, which included Antarctica and South America. Today's dry and arid outback was once a freezing polar sea where giants swam about. Together with these marine reptiles were gigantic sharks, squid, and sea turtles. I can only imagine how amazingly wild and magnificent that world was. Thankfully, the museum's many illustrations helped fuel my imagination. All was well in this ancient version of Queensland until the mass extinction event that occurred 66 million years ago. A 10-kilometer asteroid obliterated all life on Earth. But the story didn't end there. Life soon began to rebound, and the ancient continent of Gondwana began to harbor new plants and animal species. As Australia began to break off from South America and Antarctica, its species evolved and began to take on globally unique characteristics. An abundance of food, a stable climate, and other factors led to the age of megafauna. Enormous mammals, reptiles and birds that took over the land. Imagine being in Australia at that time and finding kangaroos, koalas, and lizards standing at 10 feet tall. I don't think I can outrun that. In the millions of years that followed, Australia's isolation, unique climate, and geological history resulted in the evolution of so many animal species. It's incredible to see the sheer number and diversity of Australia's animal life. Queensland Museum holds more than 15 million specimens and artifacts and is a reliable resource for scientists and researchers all over the world, including curious visitors. Aside from its flora and fauna, the museum also showcases the rich cultures that make up Queensland. One exhibit pays tribute to the Australian South Sea Islanders, direct descendants of Pacific Islander people who were forcibly brought to Australia to work in the sugarcane plantations. It is a tumultuous history, but one that makes up the fabric of Queensland today. Here, the life and struggles of the past are recognized as they looked forward to a common future. After a short stay in Brisbane, I started heading for the Gold Coast. Only about an hour's drive away, and you're already in the shores of Queensland's long sandy beaches. But before diving in, I made sure to make a quick stop at a wildlife sanctuary to see some of Queensland's diverse species for myself. My first sighting was of some sleepy koalas. A lot of people call them koala bears, but they're actually marsupials with a pouch on their belly. This sanctuary takes in sick and injured koalas and nurses them back to health.
The first koala here in Corbin was born in 1981. Now they have 60 koalas, and each of them would eat at least 1 kilo of eucalyptus leaves every day.
A koala spends about 20 hours a day sleeping. Their low-calorie diet only gives them enough energy to be awake for a few hours. And they spend this time eating too. With a well-stocked pantry, I wouldn't mind being a koala for a day. I also got to see the elusive Tasmanian devil, as well as some curious wallabies. And of course, I also went to see some of the species that descended from the age of the great lizards.
Australia has over 900 species of reptiles.
Oops! Queensland, as with the rest of the country, has some of the largest variety of snakes, especially venomous ones. I was also glad to catch a glimpse of Queensland's ancient traditions through the traditional song and dance of the Yugambeh people. There is a deep respect and appreciation for the First Nations cultures, which existed in Australia since 60,000 years ago.
The next dance is a dance about our people going fishing. This is about going fishing on one particular fish, which is the mullet fish. And the mullet is very important to our family here in the Gold Coast area. The mullet fish will migrate from the cold waters in the south to the warmer waters in the north. In our language for fish, we say jalam. Jalam
Their songs are accompanied by the didgeridoo, a long piece of eucalyptus log that is naturally hollowed out by termites. It is played by men, making use of circular breathing to create a continuous tone. It is a unique instrument that holds a deep spiritual and cultural significance for the Aboriginal communities.
The next dance is a happy dance, a celebration dance. We do this dance for the next generation, the children. They will hop up and copy and learn from their uncles, their aunties, their mothers, their fathers, how to dance, how to tell stories, and how to continue to pass on our culture through songs and through dance.
Their deep connection to the land, to nature and wildlife is something we can all learn from, especially today. Up next, I take to the skies and fly over Australia's gleaming Gold Coast, recalling connections from the past and basking in Queensland's endless sunshine. I finally made it to Australia's famous Gold Coast, located in the southeast of Queensland. It boasts of a 60-kilometer stretch of coastline and some of the best surf breaks in the world. The beaches have fine, golden sand made up of quartz from the erosion of granite and sandstone rocks around the region. The area has been continuously inhabited for 23,000 years, with the Kumbumeri people being the earliest settlers and traditional custodians. One of its famous beaches is Surfers Paradise, which has become a tourism hotspot since the 1920s. Not only is it famous for embracing the sand, sun, and surfing lifestyle, it is also the Gold Coast's central hub, with some of the tallest buildings making up its skyline. There were also quieter spots like Talebudjura Creek, a tidal estuary where fresh water and salt water meet. It is a popular fishing spot and swimming beach. Another interesting thing about the Gold Coast is that it has a large network of canals and waterways, 9 times more than Venice. I really enjoyed this part of Queensland's laid-back aquatic life, but it was time for me to be back to more familiar surroundings. I made my way to the Gold Coast Sports Flying Club, where Nick and Fergus were waiting for me. I was happy to connect with Nick, whose father and I had common friends, and Fergus, who was a paramedic and an enthusiastic pilot. We reserved the chat for later, as Fergus was flying with me that day to see the coast from above.
Yeah, it's a Lycoming and it's fuel injected, so it's always difficult to start, especially when it's hot.
That's why I can tell.
Yeah, so it's fairly loud, probably compared to your Cessna.
No, it's okay.
We taxied out of Heckfield, where the Aero Club is, along with a flight school and some private hangars.
It's a nice and long runway, huh?
We were soon in the air, over the fields in the northern outskirts of the Gold Coast.
Okay, so the motorway. Yeah, 80 motorway there. Yeah. So we'll just follow it down across here.
Nice area. There's so many nice places here in Gold Coast. Were you born and raised here as well?
No, I was born in southern Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe. And I came out here as a child. So there's another airfield just over here, Joy. So it's called Mason Field.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it's a very, very expensive.
Well, it's very near the city.
Yeah.
And it's got very arranged hangars.
Soon, we saw the extensive man-made waterways and waterfront homes that characterize the city. Fergus said that these navigable canals were first built in the 1950s and today span almost 900 kilometers. Not far off was the coastline.
So this is Q1 there. Okay. That's the spear. There's fire on it. So we're going to go around it. And we're going to drop to 500 feet.
It was great to be flying low alongside the Golden Beach, right beside the skyscrapers of Surfers Paradise. Those were some amazing views. And the best thing about flying in Queensland is that they have fine weather almost all year round.
There we are.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right.
After the flight, we caught up with Nick in the hangar. Nick is in the aircraft parts business. And just before coming over, we were both surprised to discover a common connection.
This is when we were talking yesterday and you turned around and said, I know a couple of Australians that had a ferry business in California. And I said, not Santa Paula. And when you said, yes, Santa Paula. And I'm like, well, that's my dad's business. And when you wrote that SMS or that message to me, you said, I think it was called Southern Cross.
Yeah.
And my reply was, yes,
Exactly.
it was.
Because, you know, Southern Cross, very
I
Australian.
remember the hangar vividly at the northern end of the runway, and it had the doors that folded up. Oh, it was very vivid in my memory.
I brought the Baron there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they tanked it.
Yep.
I brought it home to Manila for me. And interesting because, you know, the world is so big. America is so big, and we were just crossing ways. It's such a coincidence.
Well, did Nick tell you that I went to school with Nick, with his dad?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where at?
We went to boarding school in a town called Albury in New South Wales.
Okay.
Fergus actually took my mum before my mum was with my dad. Fergus took my mum to a school dance.
Yes, well, the end of the year dance.
True.
Yes,
So same. And you're a paramedic by profession.
that's
right?
correct. Yeah, Queensland Ambulance Service.
Wow.
Officer in charge.
Well, I'm the station officer on Hamilton Island. It's an international airport.
Oh, okay.
It's incredible how flying have brought all of us together, only to find out we had common histories. This is why I enjoy visiting aero clubs all over the world.
We just take people flying who've got an interest. So you'll see there's quite a few young people that they learn in ultralights or small
But
carbon.
that's how you get them started.
Yeah.
Without that.
So we take them, you know, in a heavier aircraft and give them just a bit to go with their training.
thank you for taking me up. It's always fantastic to be able to fly elsewhere besides your field. So you guys have to promise that you will come to visit me.
Certainly.
I
can assure you I will.
Be twisted to come to Manila and have a go in a P210.
Yes.
My visit to Queensland yielded plenty of new discoveries. From the ancient and ancestral to natural and man-made wonders. Australia's sunny side is a bright spot worth visiting again and again.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari.